What's going on YouTube? This is JabberTech, and today is Wednesday, and you know what that means on my channel. It's another Watch Face Wednesday, and today we're going to take a look at this N Touch, and it's also by the company RichFace. I really happen to like their watch faces, and I did a review on their watch face last week, so I'm bringing you another one. So let's get right into this and check out this N Touch watch face for your Android Wear 2.0. Alright guys, so first things first, this N Touch watch face is a freemium model, and it does cost you $1.50 to unlock the settings, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So this is a free to use type of application, and you can use it for eternity or until you want to pay for those extra cool features. But for $1.50, it's also really worth it. Also one of my favorite watch faces, otherwise it wouldn't be on this channel. So let's dive right into this and take a look at it. So right away you'll notice the design, really modern digital design, and I like that only the 9 and the 3 are showing, so it gives you a lot more room on the watch face to show you what's going on. And let's go over what you see on the watch face. So on the left top corner you do have the day of the week as well as the date, and then next to it the outside temperature, and then down here, if you can see it, you do have a little stopwatch icon that is clickable, and then next to it you have your phone's battery. There's your digital time, then you have your step counter here, and then on top, right behind the hand, you will see your watch battery as well. So all in all, you get a lot of information at a glance, and I do like the way this watch face looks, and it's definitely worth $1.50 in my opinion. But let's dive into it and see if it's worth that for you guys. So this is an Android Wear 2.0 watch face. It is designed for Android Wear 2.0, and that definitely makes a difference. So it has its own standalone app, which we'll taking a look at right now. So one of your first settings you can change from 24-hour to regular 12-hour if you want. And of course that's only for the digital time. You do have your translucent peak card, so when a message comes through it will be transparent, or you can set it to just have a small peak card so that doesn't take up the entire screen. It'll just take up the lower portion of your screen when you do get a message. And you do have a smooth second hand, which when you toggle on, it's just a little animation that makes things, well, a little smoother. And then another option you have is leading 0, and that only works when you're in 12-hour format. That's if you like to show the 0 before the time. So if you toggle that on and off, you see it went from 2:48 to 02:48. That's just a style preference if you like it or not. And then for the screen on time, of course, you can change it from 10 seconds all the way to 60 seconds. And this will decrease your battery life, so I usually leave it at 10 seconds. And then going onto it, you have colors that you can change, right? So the really cool thing about this watch face, you can change the colors right here from the settings menu, and you see when you switch to green, it turns green. Yellow will change it to yellow, and violet. So there aren't too many options, but the options that he does give, or rather that the developers do provide, are really nice, and I happen to like them. But another cool feature about this watch face is all you have to do, if you want to change the colors on the fly, and what I mean by on the fly is change them on the go without opening the app, all you have to do is touch in the center of the screen and it will change the color of your watch face, and it'll just cycle through those options I just showed you. That's really cool if you wanted to change it. And then we'll come to full ambient later, but you can change the colors on tap, which is what I just showed you. You can have that on and off. The tap indicator basically shows you where you've been tapping on the screen, and there we go, you can see that it shows you exactly where you're tapping. I usually like to leave that off because that's a little weird. And then another option you have right here, you can turn on and off the hands. So let's say you just want to look at your watch face as is, and you don't want to have any hands blocking the watch face itself and just look at the digital time on the bottom. You can do that if you like, but I happen to like the way the hands look, so I usually leave those on. And then one thing that's a little bit of annoyance with this RichFace program, they always have this option here that says notify me when a new watch face is out. It's alright, it's cool if you want to be kept up to date with all these new watch faces, but I usually turn that off because it's just another notification that pops through. And then in this little circle here, as I showed you before, let's get that in focus for you guys, you can change that from weather to watch battery to phone battery, you can change it to watch and phone battery, which is actually pretty cool. So you can see those little analog dials there if you wanted to see your watch and phone battery in that little icon up there. And you can also change it from steps, distance, walking, running, biking, calories, or stats. But all of these, in terms of from the steps to the stats, I'll show you where you can find those on the watch face. So personally, I like to see the weather. I think we all have a little thing about seeing the weather at all times, and that's one of my things. I like to see the weather. So you do have to allow it access for Google Fit, and that's done here. And then you can change your intervals when you want it to sync from 2 minutes, and you can put it all the way up to 12 hours. I usually leave mine at about every hour. That also will save a little bit of battery, not that much, but every bit counts when you're on a smartwatch. Then if you don't like the miles for your distance, you can change it to kilometers right there. And this is where you change all your goals. So if you want a 10,000 step goal, you can add that there. If you want a little bit more, you can add that there. You can change your goals for walking, running, biking, distance, and you can set your calorie goals, how much you want to burn. So that's really cool. And then of course, with every watch face, you have your weather options, and you can choose from Yahoo or Open Weather. And of course, Fahrenheit or Celsius if you want. And again, the update time goes from 30 minutes to 12 hours. So I usually leave mine about every hour, just for fun. Why not? So now let's get into full ambient. When that's toggled, you have your entire watch face showing when you're in ambient mode. And again, that will take a lot of your power. So I personally don't recommend it, but again, that's up to you. Maybe you're out on the town and you want to be a little fancy. Leave that on. You will see your entire display, and that's pretty cool if you want to be a little fancy, stand out. I know when I do this, I get some compliments and people asking what kind of watch is that. So it is pretty cool. It's definitely different, but again, this will eat up a lot of your battery. So I don't recommend using it all day long, but again, that's really up to you how you want to use your watch. And for the ambient, you can change the colors just like you could in regular mode. So you could even just leave it yellow in ambient so that when you're in ambient mode, you can tell right away that you are in ambient versus the blue color. When you do activate your watch, you can see the difference. That's just a nice little trick. So now let's get into this little graph down here, and this will show your steps. And as you can see, I walked 313 steps right now, and that's not bad. And you see the little graph, it's like a 5-day graph, so you can see how you did over the past 5 days with reaching your goals or not. And one thing to note, guys, don't get upset. Don't email the developer like I did. The graph takes a few days to take effect. So I emailed him telling him it didn't work, but it actually just took like 2 or 3 days for it to set up and start working. So don't go sending some nasty emails like I did. I did it for all of us. I don't know why the graph doesn't just start on day 1, but that's how we made it. So whatever. So one thing I do like about this is you can cycle through your goals like I just showed you in the app just by clicking down here. So from steps, you can see your walking goal, your running goal, biking goal, distance goal, and your calories. So that's really cool. You can just cycle through them, and it is nice to see that graph at a glance. I think it's pretty cool. I like it. And another cool feature, you will see that the seconds do rotate around the screen, leaving like this little tail behind. I think that's a nice attention to detail, and I like that it doesn't just fill up the entire screen with the seconds. It's just like a little tail that goes around, fading away. Really cool. And then for those of you that need a stopwatch feature all the time, I've showed you the stopwatch earlier on in this video. If you just click on it, you can automatically start a stopwatch. Let me click on that a little better. And that starts your stopwatch. Maybe you want to time someone. That's pretty cool. The developer must be a runner or something, but I think that's awesome that you can just start a stopwatch there. And another cool thing that I like about this watch is the weather. When you click on it, you get your 5-day forecast and your trend up there. So that's really cool too. Very nice attention to detail. Definitely worth the $1.50 in my opinion. And one thing that RichFace includes in just about every one of his watch faces, you'll see that little lock behind the minute hand. So if you touch it, it locks or unlocks the screen, basically meaning that the colors won't change with accidental presses on the watch. If it's locked, you won't be able to change the color and you won't be able to touch on the weather or anything. So that basically saves you from accidentally touching your watch and turning on features that you didn't want to. Really nice attention to detail again. And this watch face definitely is worth the freemium price and the $1.50 if you want to splurge on it. But anyway guys, that's been another Watch Face Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Check out my other watch faces, and if there's anyone in particular you want me to review, leave me a comment down below. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.